The album, Amazing Adventures, was inspired by a certain era of storytelling beginning in the 1930s, known as the Golden Age of fiction. This was an era when hot jazz, swing and blues swept the country and everybody was dancing. Aviation was in its infancy. Spaceflight was still a dream, and it was science fiction, predicting worlds beyond our own that took man to the moon just a few short decades later. Still read today, the stories from this golden age are vivid and bold and create characters that jump to life. They're larger than life, and they inspire you.
Gripping plots where heroes dare make you feel though you were there. Characters jump out from the page, stories from the golden age, westerns from the Texas plains. Thrill you feel you're at the range. Bullets flying fast and not fair to dodge the lead, or you might get shot. But stories from the golden age, compelling you from page to page. Vivid and bold, they must be told. Stories from the golden age.
The Pulp Fiction books, known as pulps, were called pulps because the type of raw paper, rough paper that they used to use, hence Pulp Fiction. Everyone knows the film Pulp Fiction, but that's actually where it comes. They were magazines, books, which had lurid colours and vivid characters and everything.
You know, some of the greatest writers in the 20th century wrote for the pulps. You know, people like Asimov, L. Ron Hubbard, L. Sprout de Camp.
There was every genre. There was science fiction, there was fantasy, adventure in far-off lands.
It was entertainment, but it was also, it got you out, it got you thinking, it got you excited and doing like the action.
If you remember, it actually was at the height of these pulps was actually during the Depression. So people did read them to actually escape from their poverty or their sort of way of life they were leading at that time, as they could read them, have an adventure in their head, basically.
And then that's the era, really, basically, of our music.
An age of jumping, ripping bands. Swing was king throughout the land. The golden age of song and dance was an era of romance.
The thing that drew me to the music was actually the life that's in the music. It's hot and it's lively, you know. And the same life is in the writing of the time as well.
They make you happy, they bring you up, they don't make you miserable or sad, they bring you to a higher level of a better emotional state, if you like.
And I think they can return to you the joy of life.
That's exciting.
That's exciting.
It's great. It's very exciting, yeah.
We've never done an album like this.
You know, we've never done an album based on books. So, and the books are so full of exciting material. It kind of pulls out things in you that you didn't necessarily know were there.
Six gun, caballero, silk shirt and a flat brim sombrero.
We found ourselves wandering outside of what we normally do into various other styles, and you've got elements that maybe we wouldn't have used before. And you know, there's colours of, I don't know, Mexico, and there's feelings of the West. And how can you make a rolling jive rhythm give the feeling of being on a pirate ship? You know,
yeah, so or Imperial China or something.
Yeah, yeah. So it sort of leads to a lot more variety and interest in the album than perhaps we've ever done before. It really sort of broadens the horizons of the band and
pushing the envelope.
Yeah,
thinking outside of the box.
I'm a serious guy.
Dangerous Dimensions is a song I wrote about the book, funny enough, called The Dangerous Dimension.
Yeah, the actual rhythm on that song is fantastic. I mean, Vince has wrote a fantastic bass line for me. It's probably the most exciting bass lines I've ever played.
To my apprehension is totally out of control.
It's quite fun actually, because someone just comes up with some words and then someone over there comes up with some melody. There's no sort of set way. Whoever comes up with something, we use.
It's some of the best stuff we've ever recorded and we've ever created as a team.
It's really sorry about this, guys, a bit of an American expression, but raised to the bar.
Wow. Yeah, that feels better.
I were you, what could I do? If I were you, what could I be? If you were me, what would you see? I'd have your strength, I'd have your looks. I learnt the way from the mystic books.
That's the album. It's really exciting, but we're on a really tight recording schedule, so we got to run.
If I were you, what could I do? If I were you, what could I be? If you were me, what would you see? I learnt the way from the mystic books. If I were you, what could I do?